Most people think about investing. Few people think about where their capital legally lives. But capital does not exist outside legal systems. Every asset exists within a jurisdiction, and jurisdictions shape financial outcomes. Legal environment. In the previous episode, we examined currency exposure. Now we go deeper. Jurisdiction. Legal systems define the rules around capital. They determine property rights, contract enforcement, regulatory predictability, tax frameworks, capital mobility. If all your capital exists within one jurisdiction, your exposure to that system becomes total. Evaluating jurisdictions. To examine this properly, we can use 5 simple dimensions. Not to complicate thinking, but to sharpen awareness. First, legal stability. How predictable is the legal system over time? Does it respect precedent? Are property rights consistently protected? Do courts operate independently? Legal stability creates long-term confidence. Second, regulatory consistency. Do regulatory rules change frequently? Or are policies predictable? Frequent regulatory shifts increase uncertainty for investors and businesses. Consistency reduces friction. Third, tax regime stability. Are tax policies stable over time, or subject to sudden reform? Unexpected tax changes can reshape capital outcomes rapidly. Predictable systems allow long-term planning. Fourth, capital mobility. Can funds move freely across borders? Or are capital controls possible? History shows that during financial stress, some countries temporarily restrict capital movement. When this happens, access becomes constrained. Fifth, political and institutional stability. Is governance stable? Are institutions resilient across political cycles? This is not about political opinions. It is about structural continuity. Now pause for a moment. If you were evaluating 2 countries for capital placement, would you compare them across these 5 dimensions? Or would familiarity guide your decision? Familiarity often feels safe, but structural assessment is different. Historical reminders. Jurisdiction risk is not theoretical. It has appeared repeatedly across history. In 2013, Cyprus introduced temporary capital controls during its banking crisis. In various emerging markets, capital transfer restrictions have appeared during periods of instability. Even developed nations occasionally introduce unexpected regulatory changes. These examples are not extreme. They are reminders. Jurisdiction risk is not constant, but it exists. Now reflect quietly. If your capital were diversified across 2 stable jurisdictions, would that reduce exposure? Not eliminate risk. Reduce concentration. Jurisdiction diversification. Diversifying across jurisdictions does not require relocation. It may include holding internationally domiciled investment funds, opening investment accounts in stable financial centers, owning globally diversified assets. The principle remains the same as earlier seasons. Reduce concentration. Increase optionality. Jurisdiction positioning is not fear-based. It is design-based. Just as investors diversify assets, capital can also be diversified across legal environments. In the next episode, we examine tax environments as structural architecture. Because taxation is not merely a cost. It shapes long-term capital growth.